Okay, this is a sad story. This is my fifth attempt because I kept getting this message that I didn't have any room left on my 128 gigabyte iPad to do this. And I deleted a whole bunch of videos because I have 7,000 videos on this thing in movies. And I wasn't getting any more space, but you have to delete them permanently to get that space. Okay, here we go. Smith & Wesson E-Series. Bought this about a month ago. It's an all stainless steel 1911 5 inches, 45 ACP. And let's go from there. It came with a brushed, polished, the flats on the side were brushed and polished and a little bit reflective. And this section here was like the top section. I don't know if that's a coating or some kind of a bead blasting. It comes off with about 2 swipes of 400 grit sandpaper, and I had considered, get that back into focus. Hello, focus. I had considered doing the frame as well, polishing the frame, but I didn't. And so I think it looks pretty cool. The top is kind of like a CZ. It has this flat, and it's also recessed a little bit. Section with the anti-glare reflective and anti-glare, anti-reflective cuts in it. And I actually don't, I've never had glare come off the top of a pistol. I put a Dawson Precision front sight in. I filed the rear sight a little bit wider, and then cold blued it, blacked out the white dots. Came with a white dot front sight, and for some reason, this was a pistol that I just could not get past the rear white dots. I couldn't focus my eye on the front white dot, which, tip, that's what you're supposed to do. Don't look at that. Let's see, what do we have here? A microfiber cloth. You can actually just wipe it off on my shirt too, which might work better. There we go. Now we're back in business. But I love that look. The way the pistol works. Oh, it came with some really hideous. On one of my takes. Let's just go over this way, boys and girls. I threw it. This is the grip design it comes with. It's a laminated grip. It has the fish scales to match the fish scales in the slide. It has checkering to match nothing. And it has an E because it's an E series. It is the worst looking grip. And we're going to throw it again. Whoosh. So this is English walnut. It just came a few days ago in the mail from Rasco, Raasco. And I think they're pretty nice. Front strap checkering, if I hadn't mentioned that. It has a little bit of an undercut behind the trigger guard, but it also has, and they're all like this, a bit of a bump right here. You don't feel it when you're gripping it, but it's strange. I don't know what to say. And I've done this video so many times. I don't know if I've gone over this yet or not. Okay, the thumb safety was mushy. when I bought it, and I hate that. And a lot of people say, just see if I can get that, some light on that, some more light on that. There we go. This is the plunger coming in the thumb safety. People say, people say on the internet, just pull the spring, take the spring out, and stretch out the spring, and that'll do it. No, not really. I don't think so. What I do is I take the thumb safeties off. I engage the thumb safety, mark it where the plunger touches the thumb safety, mark it on the thumb safety, take it out of the frame, the thumb safety, and just get a file or a Dremel tool and increase that detent into the thumb safety. And now it's very positive. I generally don't carry cocked and locked because I have it in a holster and I can just as easily pull this back. Sometimes I do carry it cocked and locked, and most of the time I don't. People will tell you, well, what if you get hit in the head and you don't have the strength to pull it back? Well, maybe you shouldn't be shooting it if you don't have the strength to pull it back. So in any case, trigger. The trigger is very nice on this. It's got that little bit of slop right there, and there is definitely a wall. I mean, that's solid. And then it just goes. There's very little over travel, but there is an over travel adjustment screw. And in comparison, here's one of my Colt lightweight commanders. This is a Wiley Clap lightweight commander. Very wide rear sight notch, and a brass insert in the front sight blade. You can actually see that fairly well. This and my other Colt lightweight commander came with a really nice positive thumb safety. These were the only pistols 1911s I didn't have to adjust. And it's also very small. This is meant to be a carry pistol. Now the trigger on this one, of course, is unloaded. This is the 5th time I've done this video. So trust me, it's unloaded, and I'm home alone. I just put these grips on yesterday. These are Cool Hand Cocobolo grips. They're very grippy, and they look nice. I like the way they look. The other side's a little bit darker. So, trigger on this, you get that little bit of take up. There really isn't something I would call a wall on this. We have that take up, and then it moves a little bit, and then it moves a little bit more. But I can't feel in the trigger where it's breaking. Okay, so going over all that, yada yada yada. External extractor, that is extremely positive. This thing, when you rack the slide back to take a live round out, it'll throw it across the room. So keep some extra rounds in case you do that a lot. The slide is very hard to pull back on this pistol for some reason. The Colt easily comes back, and all my 1911s come back with a thumb and an index finger. This one, I can do it if the hammer's back and I'm not weak. You know, I have huge hands. I'm covering up a 1911 here. I could probably crush this coffee cup. This was full of coffee. This is for my nephews because I'm always laughing, and I recommend everybody laugh a lot. I enjoy it. So in any case, it has a full-length guide rod. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I've looked on the internet. People say yes, it's hard to rack the slide on this one compared to other pistols. So I had to polish it up a little bit. These scratches, by the way, you really can't see. You can see them through the camera, those little minute scratches, but not. It's much shinier. I'm looking past the iPad. It's much more shiny. You can see my teeth. Hang on. Oh, it does say. It's a cup of coffee. They're a little brownish. So in any case, there you go. Now, just for comparison purposes, and for those people who, this is coming out of my holster. This is loaded. It's not cocked. And anybody that knows 1911s knows I can pull this trigger and it's not going to fire, because the trigger on 1911 simply releases the sear, which releases the hammer. But we're not going to pull the trigger anyway. I was just, my fingers I have it on there. So or my hands on grip safety. It is now. So, and now it isn't. You were safe, now you're not. This had one of those frosted finishes. I don't know if it was sandblasted or some kind of coating or bead blasted, whatever they do to it. And I polished this all down a long time ago. And, once again, people say, well, you need to leave the top frosted or coat it, otherwise you'll get glare. I never get glare. How would you get glare off the front of that? You'd have to be aiming high. You shouldn't be seeing the top of the slide. This is one of the few pistols I left the white dots on the rear, and I get a great sight picture with this. Very accurate, and we're not going to cock it because it is loaded. And that's that. I just wanted to use this as a comparison. You can see my fingers. Why can you see my fingers in both slides? You can see my fingers reflected in this slide and reflected but not so clear in this slide, but they both look much more polished in person than they do through the camera. So we're going to put this one back in my inside the waistband Kydex holster. Click. And now that everybody's safe again, I can hold the camera with two hands, or the iPad with two hands. And these are both great. I mean, this is a really, really accurate pistol at 25 yards. This one is excellent out to 15 yards. At 25 yards, it starts shooting a little bit low. And I'm talking about an 8-inch stick-on target at 25 yards. I just aim high. I use a 12 o'clock hold at 25 yards, and that's that, and everything works out okay. I don't know why that is, but it is. So then you just deal with it, and that's pretty much that. This coffee cup had coffee in it. It's from my nephews. Like I said, I had it out because I'm a forester. Always has his coffee out, and he does coffee reviews on YouTube, knife and gun reviews, and he's a great guy. And check out his channel. I'm a Forester. And there you go. Take care.